This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait 1 second. Little Big Ray?
This is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. You can't see me.
And that was my boy, yes, my son. It is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the mark of the masses, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some WWE Raw today. It is the After Raw report. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, no face-to-face again this week. Bill Apter is very, very busy. I mean, WrestleMania weekend is right around the corner. If you're watching this video tonight, well, whenever you're watching this video, from this point, it is 6 days away. Technically, 5 days away from this video. And I'm about a half an hour away from the ending of Raw tonight. And I feel Raw wasn't very good. And the truth of the matter is Raw hasn't been really good for the last couple of weeks. I've made this statement numerous occasions now. Some people like this week's Raw. Some people didn't like this week's Raw. I would like to know your opinion. You can leave your opinion here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Hit me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Let me know what you guys feel about this week's Raw. Truth of the matter is I was utterly bored with this week's Raw. I thought it was just a mishmash of promo after promo after promo, squash match after squash match. I mean, we went through the first hour of Raw, and there was basically 2 matches I counted the first hour of Raw. Let's jump right into it. Excuse me. We have John Cena who comes to the ring, and John Cena basically, he comes in and he says that you know, he basically complained about how he had to sit a whole year and he had to contemplate his loss to The Rock. And then he basically stated, long story short, that The Rock is going to face defeat to John Cena. The Rock will face disappointment. Apparently John Cena, you know, is really adamant about the point that The Rock has never faced any type of disappointment. Apparently he never read his book, or he doesn't know anything about The Rock. The Rock used to pull urine-filled mattresses out of the back of alleys and slept on them when he was playing football in Canada. The Rock has faced a lot, and I know a lot of people hate on The Rock. The fact is, you know, The Rock is not around. He's not he says he's the people's champion, but the fact is that he's not really at every single Raw. But let's really think about this, guys. If The Rock didn't want to be at the arena, if he didn't want to be wrestling, he wouldn't. So now really thinking about how much The Rock loves this business, I've really contemplated it over the couple of weeks, and I've really thought about this. The Rock really, really wants to be here, but then again, he has to make his money. So you can't blame The Rock for having his cake and eating it too. I would like to know what you guys feel about that. Again, it's my opinion. And John Cena basically goes on and he says, you know, he talks about how the belt, the new championship belt, was specifically made for The Rock, and how he is going to take that belt, that same belt. He's not going to change the belt if he wins it. He's gonna take that belt created specifically for The Rock, and he will hold it as the WWE champion. John Cena says that he's better than The Rock, you know, and the fact of the matter is he hasn't proven that yet. I mean, he's had his chances to beat The Rock and he hasn't. So can John Cena finally get over the hump? A lot of people say, oh, well, The Rock is going to film some movies and The Rock is going to definitely lose at WrestleMania. Is he? Is he really? The Rock has been filming movies. Listen, guys, there's no definite. Anything is possible. It's WrestleMania. But we're going to move on because there's a lot of match. And let's begin with the first squash match of the night. We had Big Show, Sheamus, Randy Orton. and they were facing 3MB, and gee, I wonder who's going to win that match. Big Show basically goes over, hitting Jinder Mahal with the choke slam, and I thought the Shield was going to come down, which they actually did, and I thought they were going to cause all hell, maybe attack the Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton, but apparently nothing. They just basically cut a promo, and that was it. That was it. No really big drama moving into that match, and that match is actually one of the bigger matches of bigger mid-card matches of the evening. But all right, we're gonna move on, and we have Zeb Coulter, and another promo. This is the second promo already in the first hour, and Zeb Coulter is with Jack Swagger, and they're in the streets of Washington D.C. Again, Raw was live from Washington D.C. And basically, Zeb Coulter is going to be fighting Alberto Del Rio tonight. And really interesting, Alberto Del Rio calls Zeb Coulter a big fat piñata, and he is going to break the piñata. So we're going to move on later to that match, but first we move into Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler, and this was actually a good match. This is the first real match of the evening, and we have Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. And ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Bryan, no matter what he does, no matter what title he holds, this guy is over. I want to see this guy hold the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship soon. I have a feeling that tag team of Hell No is going to be breaking up very soon. I believe that Dolph Ziggler, well, you know what? I'm going to be doing like a preview show combined with the WrestleMania recap. You'll see what I'm talking about this week. Look out for that. So I'm not going to give any real predictions, but let's just say I don't think Daniel Bryan and Hell No and Team Hell No and Kane are going to be together too much longer. But anyway, we move on, and it was a really good match, and it was a really great way of building up this tag team title match. Basically, at the end of the match, we have Kane. He gets distracted by AJ Lee outside the ring. Big E Langston actually attacks Kane from behind outside the ring, causing Dolph Ziggler to, while Daniel Bryan is distracted, to roll up Dolph Ziggler, pulls the tights, 1, 2, 3. So now here's the interesting part. Big E Langston comes in the ring. Kane is cleaning house, and Kane puts the hand around Big E's neck. He's getting ready for the chokeslam, and Big E actually powers out of the chokeslam, hitting Kane with his finisher, making Big E Langston look like a huge force in the WWE division or tag team division. It's going to be really, really interesting. So Big E Langston and Dolph Ziggler end up looking really strong. Does that mean they're going to win the titles? You're going to have to check my next recap for WrestleMania. But anyway, so now we have Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels comes into the ring, and again, this is my opinion. I don't think this match needed Shawn Michaels to be there, apparently. Shawn Michaels basically comes in the ring. He puts over WrestleMania. He starts saying that he had doubts about Triple H. And then Triple H actually interrupts him, comes into the ring, and Triple H says, look, if you're going to basically try to talk me out of this, and Shawn Michaels says, oh, no, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I want you to kick his butt, and I'm going to be in your corner. Okay? So Brock Lesnar is at the top of the ramp, and you have Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman basically also cuts a I mean, look, basically, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what happened there. It's really not important, believe it or not. What's important is I think this match has the potential to steal the show. You say, well, it's an old Triple H. But you know what? It's a no-holds-barred match. Again, I don't think the dynamic of Shawn Michaels really makes a difference in this match. I mean, Paul Heyman is going to, if he's going to be there, he's going to interfere only so much, unless they're going to do some type of crazy swerve and have Shawn Michaels turn on Triple H, which I think is ludicrous. I don't see that really happening. So, I don't know. But Paul Heyman basically, I'll get into it a little bit. He goes in the top of the ramp, and he basically says that Brock Lesnar is going to beat Triple H into retirement. And then, there is one thing that Paul Heyman said that actually made me crack up, and he says that Triple H is a disappointment to his family. Disappointment is going to be a disappointment to his friends, and he's going to be a disappointment to Stephanie. But Stephanie should be used to him being a disappointment, I guess, in the bedroom. But it was a decent promo to build towards that match. I don't think they needed that, and I don't think they need Shawn Michaels to be there. But again, it's my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. So we move on, and finally, finally, the WWE, the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett facing Zack Ryder. He goes over Zack Ryder. We had the Miz, and he was actually he was commentating in the side. I guess they had like 27 commentators because there's 3 guys. Anyway, a lot of too many voices at one time. This is again my opinion, but Wade Barrett basically wins with the bullhammer, and he squashes Zack Ryder. First time that I've seen Wade Barrett win a good, clean match in quite some time, making him look strong going into WrestleMania. Again, I don't want to make a prediction, but you know what? I'll make a prediction. I think The Miz is going over Wade Barrett. I think they're making Wade Barrett look strong to have The Miz basically steal or win the Intercontinental Championship from Wade Barrett. But we move on, and then we have Santino Marella, one of my favorite characters in the WWE, and he's backstage, and he sees Vicky, and he sees Brad Maddox, and he says Vince McMahon came out of the limo, and he was a very angry with you guys. And that's a horrible imitation accent. But anyway, he was basically playing an April Fool's joke, which led up to him being put in a match with Mark Henry, another squash match where Mark Henry just basically obliterated Santino Marella, hitting him with the World's Strongest Slam in probably like a minute or 2. Now Ryback comes into the ring. Now apparently on SmackDown, Ryback was doing some bench pressing competition. He was trying to beat one of Mark Henry's world records, so on and so forth. Mark Henry came, held down the weight, and almost killed Ryback, basically. But anyway, there is a no contact clause. Technically, when Mark Henry pushed down the bar, he didn't make any contact with Ryback. Well, Ryback, basically, Mark Henry comes into the ring, they go back and forth. Ryback takes Santino Marella and hits, picking Santino, hits Mark Henry, knocking him outside the ring, basically, or knocking him behind the head. Didn't make contact. He goes, I didn't make contact, stupid. You're stupid. I didn't make any contact. And then he takes Santino Marella and throws him onto Mark Henry outside the ring. So this, you know, a lot of people are not really talking about this match. And I honestly feel that this is going to be a really good match. And again, I'm not going to give any predictions right now, but I think somebody's going to be made in this match. It's going to be really good. But anyway, we move on to the Zeb Coulter versus Alberto Del Rio match. Now, we all know Zeb Coulter is formerly known as Dirty Dutch Mantel. He's been wrestling for many years, and they almost made it sound like this is Zeb Coulter's first wrestling match ever, which was a joke to me, for you non-wrestling fans or you casual fans. But yeah, so basically Zeb Coulter is in the ring with Alberto Del Rio, and he basically goes in the ring to distract Alberto Del Rio. Zack Swagger, it's really late tonight. He attacks, chop blocking Alberto Del Rio from behind, hitting the leg, and then they go and they basically knock Ricardo off the ring apron, take his crutches, and they proceed to destroy Alberto Del Rio. Now, if you haven't seen this, I want you to go back and look at Del Rio's back. They literally laid into Alberto Del Rio, beating the living hell out of Alberto Del Rio. Again, looking really strong for their WrestleMania match. So now we have Y2J versus Antonio Cesaro, and again, another mid-card champion, again, another week. Antonio, he doesn't even get an entrance. I mean, does anybody see a problem with this? You know, my opinion was, and I had tweeted this earlier, I said something like, if Antonio Cesaro was in TNA, he would get the respect he deserves. Antonio Cesaro is a really excellent wrestler. I don't know why he's not getting over. If you guys have an opinion, please let me know. Leave a comment here below. But I don't know why they're doing it. Why are you going to put the United States Championship on this guy and then have him lose every single week? But they actually, while the match is going on, Fandango comes onto the ramp, starts dancing, distracting Y2J, but Y2J is able to still overcome not only the distraction, he's able to make Antonio Cesaro tap out to the formerly Lion Tamer, the Walls of Jericho now, and for me it made Antonio Cesaro look really weak. He couldn't even win with a freaking guy dancing on the stage. And during the match, which was really funny, we had while Chris Jericho was performing his certain moves, we had Fandango, who's really over. I don't know if you guys know, this guy is always trending on Twitter, but he was scoring. He was holding up 4s and 3s and 2s and scoring the match. It was actually pretty funny. Well, basically Fandango ends up attacking Chris Jericho at the end of the match. And then he gets on the top rope, and I kind of like Fandango. I have a buddy, his name is Sergio Noah, and he actually told me that Fandango is kind of like a throwback. And I have mentioned before how he's kind of that mixture of maybe a little Gold Dust with a little bit of I can't remember the guy that used to play the porn star. Well, anyway. Back in the Attitude Era, if you guys remember, please post it below, but I can't remember it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. My friend said that he's a real big throwback, and his finisher looks to be like the flying leg drop. I don't know if you remember Beautiful Bobby Eaton of the NWA, wrestling, and Memphis, Tennessee wrestling, so on and so forth. His finisher was the flying leg drop, and it really beautifully done. He hits Y2J with 2 of those, and really, really cool. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys can remember who the heck I'm trying to talk about, hello, ladies. Please leave a comment below, so help me out. But anyway, we move on, and Fandango again looking really, really strong. So apparently Stephanie McMahon, she's going to be inducting Trish Stratus into the Hall of Fame. Good choice. Good choice. They had a bit of a feud, and I think they're going to be. You know what? Good choice. A better choice than having Arnold Schwarzenegger induct friggin' Bruno Sammartino. My opinion, I want to know what you guys think. Bruno Sammartino should have been inducted by Ivan Koloff. I mean, I thought that would have been even better than Ivan Koloff. I think Larry Zbyszko, the other living legend, should have been inducted. Should have inducted Bruno Sammartino. But again, that's my opinion. I understand the whole correlation between the weightlifting and all that other stuff, but whatever. But I think this is a great choice, and we're gonna move on to what actually ends up being Val Venus. Fandango reminds me of a combination of Val Venus and Gold Dust. Thank you. No need help. No help needed. Thank you. But you can still post whatever you want to post. So the main event of the night was actually, and I had tweeted this, I was retweeted a couple of times, the Funkadactyls versus the Bella Twins. This was the last match of the night. In my book, the last match of the night is the main event of the night, not the last promo of the night. Again, it's just my opinion. And what I took out of this match is pretty much nothing, except for the fact that I thought Naomi is just one hell of a freaking athlete, and I think that girl has a hell of a lot of potential. But basically, the Bellas go over. They're able to roll up the other Funkadactyl, and they win the match. And apparently, it's going to be an 8-man tag match. And somebody had tweeted me, and I can't remember who did, but the person made a good point. They said that this match is going to be on the main card. Why? This should definitely be like a pre-show, free YouTube thing. Anyway, again, it's my opinion. So we move on to the main promo event of the night, and we have The Undertaker. The Undertaker, rest in peace. Anyway, The Undertaker actually comes into the ring, and he starts cutting a promo how he's gonna basically decimate CM Punk, and he's gonna it's same old Undertaker promo. But while The Undertaker is cutting his promo, the Druid music comes on. The old Undertaker Druid music, and actual Druids come out holding their torches. And then we hear the ominous voice of one Paul Bearer. Oh, yes, Undertaker. And that was, that actually got me there. And what looked to be a Paul Bearer imitator coming out, and it was actually Paul Heyman, dressed as Paul Bearer, holding the urn, and the Undertaker comes up the ramp to attack Paul Bearer. Oh, I'm sorry, to attack Paul Heyman. Paul Bearer, please rest in peace. Wow, this I know the family. From what I know, the family actually is cool with it, but damn. I was a little kind of like, wow, I can't believe they're going this far. And they took it a couple of steps further. the Undertaker proceeds to try to get a hold of Paul Heyman, and he starts beating up the Druids. And one of the Druids ends up being CM Punk, who attacks the Undertaker. Paul Heyman, dressed as Paul Bearer, tosses him the urn, that being CM Punk. CM Punk proceeds to basically beat the Undertaker with the urn, and then he does the unthinkable. He opens the urn, pours the ashes onto his hand, throws them in the face of the Undertaker, proceeds to pour them all over the Undertaker, the ashes. He takes the ashes, he rubs them all over his face and body, really, really disrespecting the Undertaker. Ladies and gentlemen, my opinion is that this Raw wasn't the best. This month of Raws haven't been the best. But I still believe that WrestleMania will be really, really excellent. I'm planning to do a preview show together with a recap show. You're saying, what are you talking about? Well, basically, I'm going to do the preview show with a couple of friends of mine, and then we're going to cut away, and then we're going to come back right after WrestleMania, and I'm going to do the preview show. It's going to be one package deal, and I'm looking forward to being at WrestleCon. Hopefully, if everything, like I said last week, if everything works out this Saturday with the Legend Bill Apter, WrestleCon in New Jersey. I'm hoping to see you there, guys. Please, if you see us at OneWrestling.com's table, please stop by and say what's up. And don't forget to check me out. I always say you can follow us here at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestling Video. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Big Ray's Wrestling Show. This has been the After Raw Report. I always say this, I would do this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the legend Willie Abner, we will see you at the matches. Hey, don't forget to check out my TNA Impact recap, reviews, and results show this week. Peace.